There's a question that's just come in that says, where do you see yourselves being in a year's time?
I'm not sure if my boyfriend is watching, but maybe married and pregnant.
Oh my goodness! Does he know this?
He doesn't know if he's watching.
Hello everyone. So today we are live from Key Media, we're headquarters, and we're celebrating the launch of the October edition online. Amazing. So it's all about keeping positive business. So I'd like to introduce our amazing sponsor, Dean Kelly, over here from Your Digital Solutions, and he has written an amazing article about how to use technology to set up a home-based business. And we'll ask you a few questions in a moment about that.
Thank you.
I also have Terrie-May, thank you for coming along, from Nightingale Music. Singing from the Sitting Room is your article that you wrote, which is amazing also. So thank you to Redway, who's behind the scenes there. Obviously we couldn't have made this happen today without you, so thank you very much. And everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm quite humbled at how many people have come along today to hear me talk. I don't know why they'd want to hear me talk, but hey. So over to you, Dean. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your article and the reasons why you submitted for this latest edition?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Eleanor, for having me here today. And the main sort of inspiration around the article was what my business was set up to achieve, which was obviously to offer I.C.T solutions, and the fact that I was working from home because I started the business in lockdown. So I started to write the article and I thought, hang on a minute, what I can offer is how I set my business up. So one of the first things I obviously looked at doing was things like the internet speed, because everything I wanted to work was going to be very technical. So it was, will it all work on, cloud-based technologies, CRMs like Salesforce, for example. So I ensured that my internet connection was sufficient for that. Then it was the technology, making sure that my laptop and the PCs were of the required specifications. And as I thought through how I set my business up, I thought, it's actually quite good to have that experience of setting it up to work from home. To then try and relay that to people reading the article. Sure. And it just it was quite an eye opener to me, because I didn't realise how much work I'd actually put into setting up from home, and it did make myself as a new business quite productive and quite agile, to be fair. So and thanks for having me in the article. And thanks obviously for the sponsorship as well, because that was as you'll probably see in the article when you read the magazine. My advert is obviously included at the bottom there, but I've advertised since I launched my business, and one of the reasons why I advertised in the first place is because I knew the exposure that QUAY Magazine would give, because so many people had recommended it. That I thought, okay, well look, that's definitely going to be part of my marketing plan, is to advertise in QUAY Magazine. And due to just the connections I've made through other, advertisers, the network that obviously comes around with QUAY Magazine as well, I've made some great connections. Obviously done some business as well. And I thought, right, I'm going to support the magazine further and sponsor. And I just think it's going to be great from a business, and I'd encourage anyone to do so.
Thank you for doing that. It's been great. And over to you, Terry. So, would you like to tell us a little bit about your article? And
Yes. Eleanor asked me to write an article a few weeks ago about my experience in lockdown. Having a very creative business in the entertainment and wedding industries, obviously my business has been completely decimated by 2020.
Yes.
And the article's sort of all about how I've coped, both from a business sense and from a personal perspective. It talks a little bit about how I cope with things on a mental health level, And then there are a couple of sort of tips that I gathered along the way that I thought might be helpful for people, both while we're in this situation and going forward.
Okay, brilliant. And what do you hope to, you know, get out of obviously being included in QUAY Magazine? So,
I think obviously I'm a slightly unusual business for the magazine, and I think it's great. One of the things that QUAY Magazine is really good for is showing the huge diversity of businesses that we have in the region, in Torbay and in South Devon. On a personal level, I am focusing quite a lot on engagement and brand awareness at the moment.
of course.
Because people can't come out and see me sing.
No.
I've been working a lot online, doing live streams. I did live streams for about 10 or 11 weeks throughout lockdown. And being asked to be part of QUAY Magazine this month is just helping to extend my reach to more people. If anybody is looking for a singer when we can have live entertainment again. I think that was sort of the point. And also I love writing. I love talking about myself and what I do. I'm hugely passionate about what I do. So when you asked me to write an article, I just thought absolutely happy, very, very happy to do it.
And thank you for supporting the magazine and, you know, for a fantastic article as well. It's because, of course, you know, we're all about promoting positive business and which we think QUAY Magazine really, you know, brings over. So, and thanks to everybody that does contribute, because without you, we wouldn't have a magazine. So, but yeah, we're hoping to do this every month for every launch, because at the moment we do launch a monthly edition. We obviously ourselves as a business have struggled through lockdown and come across challenges. One of those main challenges being that we haven't been able to go to print, but we then obviously are now going online. The next edition for October, this month, is now available on our website. So if you go over to www.qaymagazine.co.uk, you will see the magazine. We've got some fantastic articles for you this month, so please do either read it online or download. Let's see if anybody got any questions. So we're just throwing it out there. We've got lots of people following today. Has anybody got any questions for our panel? Not yet, but I'm sure we will do. I'd also like to give a shout out to James Twigger. He's been my absolute inspiration. James, you have done an online shout out nearly every day through lockdown, and I've followed you as much as I can around busy work schedule. And do you know what? If you can do it, I can do it. So that's why we're sat here today.
We've had a question from Brendan, I think it is. It says, do you guys have a shared space for ideas to tackle the challenges over lockdown? So I don't know if he's talking about a virtual shared space or if he's talking about an actual space, but is there something locally? Have you guys thought about something that actually is a way that people can share ideas of tackling the challenges that we face during lockdown?
I mean, I suppose the nearest I can think of is, I suppose I'm also involved in Paint and Chamber, and we've recently collaborated with other local chambers of commerce and the Torbay Business Forum to have a forum that's more collaborative. So issues that are coming from local business people that need to be fed back to, you know, sort of local government and beyond, then in answer to your question, then yes, there is that emerging as we speak. Maybe I can contact afterwards with further details, if that'd help.
Yeah. So he did confirm he was talking about virtual. So I think that does fit what you're saying. Obviously, all the comments will be on the live, so you can always send him a message after. Yeah. Or if I think it's Brendan, if you wanted to message, obviously you guys, you've all got your details and your logos at the end, so they can contact you as well.
I think in general, networking has been hugely beneficial to all of us here. Yes. That's how I know both of you and how I know Will. It's how Will and I became housemates a couple of years ago. I think the whole troubleshooting and collaborating with regards to networking, it helps create community, doesn't it?
Oh, massively.
And that community has really helped sustain a lot of businesses online. I am a member of Payton Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
Dean especially has been hugely helpful to me. I'm also a member of your partnerships. So there is a lot going on online. Specific COVID survival groups I haven't really come across so much. But in general, I think networking is what's keeping a lot of us focused at the moment and motivated, and hearing other people's success stories and hearing other people's problems, and being in a group where you can talk honestly about how you're struggling and what specifically you're struggling with peers who know what you're talking about on a business level, I find has been hugely helpful to me. I don't know about you two.
Oh gosh, definitely. You know, especially, you know, big shout out to your partnerships as well, because without them, you know, I wouldn't be sitting here now. The amount of help I've had from members of your partnerships has been phenomenal. And I know a few that are watching now are, you know, members of your partnership. So yeah, thank you. So Graham Piper is loving the QUAY Mag. Thank you, Graham. You are also, you know, a great supporter of QUAY Magazine and have had articles in the magazine. You actually do have an article in this edition that everyone can read now, where Alex interviewed you. Great article. So definitely go and read that one. And also Debbie, another, you know, fantastic supporter of QUAY Magazine. You know, it'll be really great to see you, you know, in person, hopefully one day out of lockdown. I don't think I've seen you since the beginning of lockdown. So yeah, it'll be great to catch up then. So yeah, have we got anyone else got anything to add?
There's a question here which says, which has been your favourite articles in the QUAY Magazine so far, apart from your own, if you've written ones? So if you've seen any, you can say mine. That's allowed. That wasn't part of the thing. So if you want to say it was mine, that's fine. But yeah, who have you got favourite articles?
Do you know, Will, your articles have been fantastic, and you also yourself have an article in this edition on live streaming. So if anybody wants to know any more about live streaming and, you know, what we're doing here today and how we're making it possible to talk to you in person rather than just be faces that, you know, you don't get to see, then please do read Will's article. I'd highly recommend it.
Up until last month, I was forced to read Will's articles every month. While we were living together, he'd pop the magazine down on the kitchen table and just sort of look at me. And I was like, okay. But I have, Will and I actually collaborated a couple of months ago now, I think, on a live stream. And it was fantastic. If you go onto my page at Nightingale TM on Facebook and Instagram, you can actually see the live stream that we did together in our living room. And I just performed a jazz version of a Take That song. And you can see the way that Will has put it together. It's absolutely beautiful. He's a very talented guy, and I think...
Oh, you're making him blush.
That's my 20 quid paid up. So
There has been another couple of questions as well. So Brendan, who asked a question a minute ago, following up on kind of what you all said a moment ago, is there any, or can you recommend any Zoom type events to bring people in the area together remotely? I think we've mentioned your partnerships already. We've mentioned the new chamber, Torbay Business Forum one, but maybe mention them again, where they can find them.
I think, for Payton Chamber, if you go on to www.paytonchamber.co.uk, there's obviously the Payton Chamber virtual networking events that are on there very regularly, and the new Torbay Business networking event as well, that obviously Will helps us out with that as well. And I think the other one is obviously it's just yourpartnerships.co.uk.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are other networking events. We do have a networking events page in the magazine as well. So, you know, please do have a look. It does cover the whole of the South-West and Cornwall, because obviously QUAY Magazine isn't just for my hometown, which is in Torquay. It is for the whole of the South-West and Cornwall. So, you know, we've got a massive reach, and we've got some great plans to actually go further up north. Yeah, it'll be...
revealed soon, I believe.
Yes, yes. And of course, you know, COVID unfortunately did put a stop on those plans for 6 months, but they're still going on, they're still being talked about, so they will happen one day. So, yeah.
And then there's another question from Graham Piper again, just asking, he's loving the PDF editions of the magazine, but he's asking what's going on with the print editions, how have you had, what's been the challenges with that, when are they able to get hands on? Kind of, give us a little insight into behind the scenes at QUAY Mag and how COVID has affected the print side of things.
So obviously the biggest challenge with the printed edition is that we differ slightly with the magazine in that we can almost guarantee that the magazine will get into the right person's hand. The last thing we wanted to do was just, you know, distribute a load of magazines that we don't really know where they're going or if the right people are going to read them. So we were distributing the magazines mainly through networking events and that kind of thing, which was working incredibly well. So the business managers or, you know, the people with the decision making would see the magazine. So of course with lockdown, that meant we couldn't distribute, we couldn't go networking, although we could take the magazine to businesses. We were also finding that businesses were closed, and a lot of businesses still are closed or they're working from home. So, you know, those 2 points of distribution were just not going to happen. We did try to, well, we have put together another printed version to go to print, which we're hoping to go out this month. But we're now again facing lockdown. Whether or not it'll be a national lockdown, I don't know. But it was just too much of a risk that we couldn't distribute the magazine. So we're probably better off just staying online for the minute. So with a printed edition, I'm hoping for the new year. But who knows what's going to happen or around the corner. We're also finding that although we've got tremendous support for the magazine, that obviously we're all being financially challenged.
You've had Damien from Short Stock Video say hi, and he's loving the office look. He's obviously behind you over the shoulder there as well, so he's got a little...
Yeah, so of course during lockdown we had the whole of the offices completely renovated, top to bottom. We're still developing the videography and photography studio. It is there, and we will definitely be doing our live streams from there at some point, but until we've cleared out the rubbish and I don't think we'll be getting there anytime soon. But hey, you know, we're in the office today, so it's great. So we've also had another message from Pauline saying, you know, great magazine. She finds it really interesting in a range of eclectic businesses. And yes, you know, if you've got a business, then you can be included in QUAY Magazine. It's all about top tips or an inspirational ideas behind business. You know, it's all about to inspire others, which we hope we do well. And you know, so anybody that's thinking of starting a business or in a business that wants to grow, you know, these are all the tools to put together to help you and to feel supported. Yeah. So I think with the magazine alongside networking, it's a really good, you know, a good tool really to make yourself successful, because who doesn't want to be successful in business? You know, that's why we do it. Yeah, that's why we put the long hours in. So, but yeah, it's great. So we've also got Demi here. Hi Demi, another great supporter of QUAY Magazine. She was asking about do we do logos and branding for businesses too? So yes, we do, because of course we're not all about QUAY Magazine. Which I quite often forget. The business is QUAY Media, and we do everything from logo design right through to websites. So if we want, you know, if you need any help with promoting your business other than in the magazine, then please do get in touch. We've got lots of packages going on to help promote your business. So yeah, great comment. Thank you, Demi. So I've got anything else you want to say? Will, you're gonna...
No, I think you've covered all the comments and the questions there. It's nice to see everyone interacting. It's great.
Yeah, I'm amazed at, you know, everybody that's kind of come along and supported us today. So thank you so much. It's been great. You know, thanks to my great panel here and contributing into why, you know, being involved in the magazine is a good thing. And yeah, and we're all here to help each other as well, to help support each other.
Absolutely.
Because without each other's support, I think, you know, it's a big enough struggle as it is.
I think particularly as a business owner, it can be quite a lonely world if you don't have a supportive peer group around you.
I totally agree.
Yeah, you do definitely need a good network.
Yeah.
There's just, even if it's just for a tip or a pointer, or, you know, just to pick up the phone, because the person on the other end of the phone is in such a good mood.
Yes.
They pick you up.
Having
right, okay, that's what I need to be like. So yeah, very important.
Yeah, letting off a bit of steam with someone who understands can be really helpful.
So we've had another question from Pauline. She says, I've mentioned broadening your audience. When is it likely to happen for people watching further afield? Well, I do know, Bren, you're further up north. So, you know, that's one person that's looking further afield. Sam, I know you're all the way up in Morecambe. So we're already, you know, our reach is hitting pretty much all around the UK. Pauline, yourself, you're down in Cornwall. You know, we've got a few people from Torbay. So yeah, I think the reach is there. It's, you know, the magazine is read all over the UK as well. I think we've even had some downloads and reads over in the States and some other countries. Alex, I think you're watching. Alex is our lead editor. I'm sure he'll be able to give some more stats on that, to exactly, you know, who's reading the magazine. But yeah, great question. Thank you, Pauline. So
there's a question that's just come in that says, where do you see yourselves being in a year's time? And I think that'd be really interesting for, obviously, for Key to answer that, but also for Terry and Dean maybe to answer that as well. It'd be a really interesting one.
I'm going to shut up for a minute, actually. And yeah, so Dean, where would you like to be in a year?
So within lockdown, I've now in my offices, which are upstairs, which is you know, a development to where I want to take the business within the next year.
Yep.
And the idea is that I have at least 2 members of staff by this time next year. One marketing, one more support, and we're fully sustaining it ourselves and able to sustain, you know, sort of employment in the area, and that's the continuation of where I want to keep taking the business.
Okay, great. And Terry?
I have no idea.
Where's your business plan? If it's anything like me, it's all up here.
My business plan got chucked out the window on the 16th of March or whenever it was.
Yes.
I think one thing that I've realised this year is creating a business over the past 5 years, the past couple of years being in the UK, previously in Ireland, although I am a Torbay girl born and bred. I have developed a whole bunch of skills that are transferable. So I'm looking at what else I can do, because my job is not as secure as I thought it was. Despite being self-employed, I was fully booked for the entirety of this year. And that obviously flew out the window when COVID appeared. So I am opening an Etsy shop in time to get all your Christmas gifts. So watch this space on my social media. It'll be plastered all over the place, where I'll be making handmade gifts and also curating one-off vintage pieces. I'm quite involved in the vintage community, and I'm hugely passionate about vintage fashion. So that is something that I'll be doing, which I presume in a year's time will be hugely successful. And
I've got every, faith you will be.
Yeah, and aside from that, I'm not sure if my boyfriend is watching, but maybe married and pregnant.
Oh my goodness! Does he know this?
He doesn't know if he's watching.
For those of you who
bombshell.
don't know me personally, we had been on 5 dates when we moved in together during lockdown. We now have our own house together. So it's the natural progress of things, isn't it?
Moving fast.
I'll just leave now.
Congratulations.
What, in advance?
Yeah, exactly.
But in all seriousness, I've never, working in the arts, working in entertainment, having a sort of set business plan, a 5-year plan, is not the way that area of business works particularly. So I'm used to flying by the seat of my pants. I'm used to going with the flow when it comes to business, and I'm used to diversifying, and I'm a huge fan of baptisms of fire and just chucking myself at whatever opportunities come my way. And luckily, I've been given quite a few opportunities through networking and peer-to-peer support. So just going back to what Brendan was saying about creating support groups, I highly, highly recommend it. And speak to Dean about Paint and Chamber of Commerce, because he's all right.
And
Thanks, Terrie.
nice little plug there.
Yeah.
So, Dean, how do people get in touch with you?
So you can visit my website, which is www.ydsdevon.co.uk. You can call me, which is 01803 416 230, or you can send me an email in dean.kelly@ydsdevon.co.uk.
Fantastic. And Terrie?
I am at www.nightingalemusic.co. You can email me, TM, as in Terrie-May, at nightingalemusic.co. On Facebook and Instagram, I am at NightingaleTM. Also, I posted a very personal post over the weekend on World Mental Health Day about my own personal struggles with mental health. I'd just like to thank everybody who reached out to support. I've had a few people message me directly, asking me questions and things, and just saying, you know, thanks for trying to reduce the stigma around it. I don't think there's anything shameful about talking about how you're struggling, especially right now. I don't know anybody who hasn't had struggles throughout 2020. So thank you for all the support, and you can find all my information on Facebook and Instagram and the website, and feel free to message me about anything. I'm an open book. Within reason, Will.
And of course, you know, everyone can read your articles and your details on your articles, I think, as well. So to get in touch with yourselves.
Where do you see yourself in a year's time,
Where do
Eleanor?
I see? Wow. 6 months ago, it was going to be amazing. There were going to be magazines all over the UK, printed editions. At that point, although we were talking about being online, it wasn't at the forefront of what was happening right then. So yeah, and that still will happen. You know, we want to branch out to Exeter and Plymouth. That's our next areas to go alongside Torbay and Teignbridge and Cornwall. You know, and there's lots of exciting talks about bringing a magazine to the north. So I've got a great lunch coming up next week. So hopefully I can talk a little bit more about what's happening there. And, you know, when we're recruiting as well, we're always looking to expand the team. I've gone from just being myself to a fantastic team. We've got Kai, we've got Holly, we've got Lee, we've got Alex, I've got, you know, I class Will as part of my team, and also Damien, who's done some of the amazing videos that I launched back a while. So yeah, so you know, if anybody wants to be part of the team or join Key, then please do get in touch. You can get in touch with me through my email address, eleanor@key.media, our website, www.key.media. We're obviously on Facebook. LinkedIn is also another good place to get in touch. So yeah, I think it's great. So hopefully everyone's enjoyed what we've done here today, with our technical issues and stuff, but you know, that's kind of makes one part
That's
of it.
showbiz.
That is, isn't it? I was incredibly nervous. This is way out of my comfort zone. As anybody that knows me well, I hate being in front of the camera. I'll quite happily just sit in the corner and yeah, just direct. So anyway, you've got me here today. So thank you, everybody. And yeah, hopefully, well, we will see you next month for the next launch. And please do enjoy reading the magazine, and I look forward to your feedback. So thank you, everyone.